everyone. My name is Ivy, and welcome to Cowrie Convos podcast powered by Yellow Cowries. Yellow Cowries is a social enterprise leveraging gamification to effectively drive financial literacy for young adults and micro and small business owners. To achieve this, we use our unique gamified tools, which are the YC Financial Wellbeing Curriculum. It talks on how to plan, save, and invest for financial freedom. We also use our playing card games and our digital app. We run financial literacy clubs with these tools. We also run financial literacy circles for students in tertiary institutions and for small business owners. Cowrie Convos is a dynamic financial literacy podcast designed to educate, empower listeners on the principles of financial planning, saving, and investment. We feature thought leaders from the financial industry, that is, partners who have supported Yellow Cowries over the years, and they teach us these principles and give us practical steps on how to plan, save, and invest your money for lasting financial freedom. Our guest for today is Ifeanyi Njoku. He's the financial controller at OxygenX, a subsidiary of Access Corporation. He'll be speaking on mastering your financial plan. Welcome, Ifeanyi.
Thank you, Ivy, for having me.
Okay, great to have you here. Can you give us a quick rundown of your experience in helping people plan their finances?
Okay. Thank you, Ivy, for your time. So my experience and observation from engaging people on financial planning is that the average Nigerian has a consumer mindset. So they tend to spend before they save. So they save whatever is left from their spending. And if they ever plan at all, they plan after they've saved. So I think that's where the confusion and the misplacement of priority comes in. So it's just to help them at every point in time, just turn the tables, plan, save, then consume. So it helps you meet your medium-term, short-term, and your long-term plans. Thank you.
I always ask this question. When you think of money, what comes to your mind? And I hear a lot of people say spend. You touched on how we always spend first before we start planning, because that's literally what an individual out there will think of first of all. How to buy that thing, how to spend it. It's not a very healthy mindset, I must say.
Exactly. So when I hear money, I hear resources. Resources that should be used as a means to meet your goals, your objective, your financial ambition, right? So it in itself, it is not an end. So typically, nobody plans to have money for having money's sake. They have money to meet specific ambition, specific goals, or buy specific items. So what money is to us without financial planning is what a ship is without a compass, right? It's just having capacity, having resources without direction. So what that means is you can be going nowhere fast. You can be going nowhere with a lot of capacity, but because you don't have a direction, you don't get to a destination. So what money is a tool. In the hands of a financial planner, is a tool. But in the hands of an average Nigerian, it is just another means to fulfill one of my desires. So that is where financial planning becomes very critical.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ifeanyi. So you say financial planning. We hear these terms a lot. Financial planning, we hear budgets, we hear goals. What is the difference? What would you say is the difference between financial plan and budget?
Okay.
What makes it different? Is it not the same thing?
Okay, so a financial plan, right, is the articulation of your current situation, your objective, your midterm, long-term objective, ambition, and your strategy to achieve those ambitions or those objectives. They vary from person to person. So a banker like me will want to aim to become, say, the CBN governor in a few years' time, right? So I have to design my financial plan to help me support that ambition, right? So the goal itself may not be financial, but you need that vehicle, which is the money you have, the resources, your income, and the way you spend money to help you reach that
Okay.
financial goal. So now, what is a budget? A budget is a simple estimate of your income and expenses. So it means that budget, it can be long term, it can be short term, right? But budgets are the product of your financial plan. So if you have mapped out your financial plan, then you now think of how you spend to meet your financial plan. Take, for example, in the next 3 years, I'm planning to go and study in the UK to get my master's in the University of Manchester. So I understand few things. One is I'll need money to achieve that, right? And two is I will need to make resources available to ensure that by in the next 3 years, in 2017, I have enough resources to push for that ambition, right? That means I have to understand how much it costs to pay tuition fee at the University of Manchester. I have to understand how much the tickets, an average ticket, will cost me. I need to understand how much, probably for the first 6 months of living in England, how much it will cost to sustain my livelihood in England. So that will now guide what my budgeting will be, right? It means that if I earn 100,000, I need to ensure that as much as possible, I push my consumption to the barest minimum, right? To ensure that I put aside enough resources to meet that ambition. Now, what that plan has done to my budget is it has switched the table. I'm no longer saying, oh, I'll save whatever is left. Now, I will spend whatever is left. So I think that's the difference. So what your budget is what the financial plan makes of it.
So we have a financial plan first. We set up our goals, financial plan.
Exactly.
Set up our financial goal first,
Goals.
and then we put our budgets together.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's get practical. What are the key components every good financial plan should have? What are those major things you should have in the financial plan?
Okay, I think the first thing is to evaluate where you currently are. Where are you? What do you earn currently? Right? If I earn 100,000 and I earn 100,000 a month, I can't plan to travel abroad in the next 3 months. It's not realistic. So you need to evaluate where you are. What's your current situation, your current financial situation? Then the second thing is understand your cash flow. Right? How is your expenses structured? Some people, they are heavy on consumption. Right? What do you consume? What are the things you spend your money on? And that will probably lead you to going into your financial statements and analyzing whatever is in there. What am I spending on? And how can I cut this spending to be able to achieve this result? So one is getting your situation, understanding your situation. Two is understanding your cash flow, where you are and what you can do and the resources you have available to you. Then the third component is the ambition, your targets. So you need a target to be able to, you need to be aiming for something to be able to arrive at a destination. So those are the three important components of
Okay, I
financial
think that's a
planning.
good start for us. Thank you so much, Ifeanyi, for
welcome.
sharing this insight. Okay, so we're going to be going into our Yellow Cowries card game segment. I've invited a couple of our team members to join us. So we're going to play a quick round of the game and we will be right back. Okay, so we're back. We played the card games.
I had a very good time playing the game.
Awesome. So we're going to take some tips from our card as the PSI Yellow Cowries playing card games. We're going to talk on some of the financial literacy tips we have on the card. So Ifeanyi, I have here, manage your monthly income wisely, keep your needs at 50%, wants at 30%, and savings at a minimum of 20%. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Yes. So I will also recommend that everybody cuts their budgets or their spend according to, right, what they want to achieve in the short term, right. So it's advisable to really not um, leave your savings to fall below 20%, right. It's very advisable because we keep money for various reasons. One of the reasons why we keep money is transactional, which is what you spend on your day to day. You buy stuff, food stuff, you buy fuel for your car, you repair your car. Those are your day to days, right? So we have also why we keep money, which is called the precautionary reason, which means for some emergencies you don't plan for, right? Maybe your child falls sick or you don't feel too well. Although some employers have built in HMOs to cater for some medical emergencies for the employees, but you still need to plan for yourself and your family to keep money aside in case of emergency where you don't have access to some of those benefits from employment, right? So it's actually good to keep money for that reason. So, and we also keep money for speculative reasons, right? Where you can easily go get an item of assets and turn over that assets to make money, right? Which will be like an additional income outside your 9 to 5 income or your business income, right? So it's actually very good to keep money aside, but
Okay.
not just keep money aside. You need to be able to um, make the money work for you, right? But I won't go into that, right? But
Okay.
I'll just focus on how you cut your plan for the period. So very importantly, you don't have to spend up to 50%. You don't have to spend up to 80%, right? You can if you can spend less, you should. The economists have this theory that the higher your income, the lower your
Spending.
consumption, right? So there's an inverse relationship. So it means the more you earn, the more you're expected to set aside for to meet your long-term goals or for whatever reasons, right? So yeah, it's very good, and it's not also advisable to always feed your needs. Like I see, some people say, I've just spent to sorry your wants.
Yeah. Obviously.
So some people just say, I'll just keep this money aside to have a good time. Yes, having good time is good, but not making a habit of it, because when you make a habit of it, it starts eating deep into your income. My
Okay,
take on
so
that.
the budgeting rule that says 50% to needs, 30 to wants, and 20 to savings is something one can start with. It's
Yes,
advisable.
is fundamental. It's
Okay,
basic,
okay.
so you can grow from there.
We can grow from there. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so I'll go to the next tip we have. It says here, write out and stick to your current and future budget. Share with someone who can keep you accountable. So this accountability thing, does it really work?
Yes, accountability is the name we call discipline when a third party gets involved, right? So for you to be disciplined enough to submit yourself to someone and be accountable to that person, it means that you can actually achieve it, right? Some individuals, some people typically they ignore that part of um, accountability because most times they spend recklessly, right? So they don't want to come into a situation where they are held accountable by themselves or by a third party. So they ignore. So but what typically should happen is, even though you plan for the month or for the year or for the quarter, you need to also go back at the end of that period to evaluate what you've done with your money, right? So budgets are always not rigid;
Okay,
they are flexible.
okay.
So what that means is, if there are new developments in your lifestyle, in your needs, you just need to adapt and accommodate
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ifeanyi. So how was it like
them.
playing the games? Can you just tell us what do you think games like this can help, or how do you think games like this can help people in financial planning?
Okay, thank you. It's an interesting game. So two things. The first is you you understand the use of opportunity, right? So the game provides you with opportunity to build something, to create something, to score points, right? And it requires, when it gets to your turn, that you're able to quickly take the opportunity, either by taking from someone else or by taking from the market, to ensure you meet your plan. So it means that at the point where you get your cards, you're able to figure out what you want to do, right? That helps in a way with planning, using the cards as your resources, right? It helps, the resources you give away, and the ones you need to build your plan, right? And secondly, it's kind of help you store information around financial literacy in your mind, in your subconscious. So you are thinking of the word save for a long time. You are thinking of the word invest for a long time. You are thinking of the word plan for a long time. So those things, when they come into your subconscious, they help you even think more strategic in your life.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we've heard about SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, realistic, and time bound. How does this apply to financial planning? And also, can you give us an example of how a SMART financial goal should be like?
So you would typically expect that a goal, a target, an ambition is specific. How do you mean specific? You can name it. It can be named. You can easily say, "Oh, I want to be a billionaire," right? I want to be a billionaire in naira or a billionaire in dollars. You're being specific to say, "Oh, is that in naira or in dollars?" So when it's time to measure, you can quantify that statement. That means I need actually at least $1 billion to either be an asset or in cash form to attain this objective. I can measure it, right? Is it achievable? That is where your strategy comes in. Is it attainable? Is it actionable? That's where your strategy comes in. To say where you are today, you don't have 1 billion. You don't have anything close to 1 billion. So what are the steps? What are the plans you're putting in place? What are the actions you want to put in place to achieve it? So being practical, I'll give an example. So today you're in 9 to 5, right? You do your regular job. You earn, let's say, $100,000 a month, and you want to achieve $1 billion in, let's say, in a period of 15 years. You want to become a billionaire. You should first of all take a statistical sample of your career environment. How many people are billionaires in that in your line of trade? If you can't find any group of people that became billionaire by employment, it means you're in the wrong trade. So the first thing is, how do I get out of this and get to a point where I'm able to accumulate this level of wealth to achieve it? So it is not necessarily that your 9 to 5 that will help you achieve your goal. You can use your 9 to 5 to achieve the goal that helps you achieve your ultimate goal.
Okay, so just to go back to what you said about the question about the example. So that financial goal now is to be a billionaire at the end of the year.
In 15 years.
Be a billionaire in 15 years.
That's to be realistic.
That's to be
realistic.
It has to be realistic. Is that realistic? That's a SMART financial goal.
Yes, for some it is. So to some people, financial freedom means having 1 billion in their name.
I'm just wondering how realistic that is. That's my question. Because 1 billionaire from earning, okay, you said earning $100,000 in a month.
In a month.
Okay. So
it has to be realistic
for someone like that.
To see.
Okay.
You need to see an image of you in that period of time.
And measurable in 15 years.
Exactly.
You said, right?
So it has to be specific.
Okay.
And time bound.
Time bound 15 years. Measurable, how will you address?
So measurable is, to be a billionaire, you need 1 billion naira or $1 billion for you to become a billionaire, either in naira or in dollars. So it has to be measurable. It has to be quantifiable.
Yeah.
It does not have to be cash. You can have an asset worth 1 billion, right? But most of the American billionaires today, they don't really have cash in the bank. So they have assets that, when valued, is
You
what
have.
makes them look very rich,
Okay.
or makes them
Okay.
become rich.
I think this has been very helpful, really helpful. Thank you, Ifeanyi. I'm sure we are clear on how a financial plan should look like, what exactly we need to do, and also having it, planning it in a fun and engaging way by playing the YC, Yellow Cowries, PSI card games. It's challenge time. This week, we want you to take 15 minutes of your time to write down your top 3 financial goals for the next year. And remember, it has to be smart. Make them smart goals. Share them with us on social media with the hashtag Cowrie Convos, and you get a chance to win a free financial planning session with the team at OxygenX. Right, Ifeanyi? Okay, great. So, Ifeanyi, last words from you for our listeners.
Okay, thank you, IB. So at OxygenX, what we basically do is we sell smart financial solutions to customers and small businesses to help them meet their short-term and their medium-term needs. And as you have heard people say, planning is winning, right? And failure to plan is clearly failure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Fine. It was a pleasure having you around. And that's all the time we have. And so remember, a good financial plan is your roadmap to financial freedom. Next time, we'll be diving into the art of saving. You won't want to miss it. Until then, keep planning, keep saving, and keep investing. Thank you.